Everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're here with another episode of Dark, a brand new season 2, and of course a brand new year as well. The end is the beginning. The beginning is the end, and never before has that phrase been more relevant than it is for this year. The end of a very tumultuous 2020 and a promising 2020, and the beginning of a promising 2021. So. Hopefully, everyone has been staying safe. Social distancing over the holidays. Your families have remained safe, and the night is darkest before the dawn. I forget where that's from. I think it might be Dark Knight, or maybe they may have taken it from somewhere else. But that's also very much applicable here. So this is a brand new year. Hopefully, we take the lessons. Have the past influence our future in this instance, and take the lessons away from 2020 for a better 2021. So focus on the things that we've now realized were what should have been a priority, and they may not have been before. Looking forward to it, guys, and looking forward to spending it with you all here as well. So Dark season 2. I've spent the most of the holiday period playing Cyberpunk 2077 essentially, and I don't know I've probably forgotten more than I should have, so gonna just jump right into it and not speculate too much. Just to a quick recap of what happened at the end of season 1. Of course, there were a lot of revelations. We did get some answers, but in true Dark fashion, with answers come a lot of questions as well. So we now have Jonas in the future, which I don't believe they confirmed, but I suspect is 2052, which should be 33 years from 2019. He met a group of people who, none of which we recognize. They all seem to be new faces, so I will need a new character map, which I will likely have put together, hopefully by the end of this episode. I'm assuming these characters remain relevant to the story, right? Of course, Ulrich is stuck in prison. I'm not sure where the show goes from here in terms of what timeline will be the focal point, if we'll be revisiting 2019, or separate timelines. In fact, I suspect. The Triquetra. The three arcs that come together, they do overlap in the center, and I do wonder if that is what this timeline actually represents, and why there are two entities, one fighting to ensure things remain as is, and another fighting to have things change. Perhaps 2052 was born off these three timelines, and perhaps nothing changes, and someone feels that needs to now change. So we'll see. I won't speculate too much on that until we get more information. Of course, with Ulrich trapped there, we also learned about H.G. Tannhaus and his interaction with not only with Jonas, but also Claudia as well, who we now know actually hired him to actually build the device in the first place. One thing we've not gotten confirmation of is who built the chair or the centrifuge that Noah is actually using for his time travel, right? So we now know that she had a hand in H.G. Tannhaus getting his hands on the machine, and of course he was also influenced by Ulrich as well, and the now stranger coming to actually give him what he needed to complete building the machine. So it's gonna be a wild ride, guys. Can't wait. So looking forward to this journey. Season 2, episode 1. Let's check it out. The music is back. I know for a lot of shows, well, not often, I suppose, depending, mostly animated, but in some instances live action as well, they change scores or openings at the start of every new season or every few seasons, but I hope this remains constant throughout. The door. I was wondering who the hell actually built that. They have the same tattoos that Noah had.
Ich glaube an die Ironie des Schicksals.
Is it that all members of the dark perhaps have that tattoo? You know, the dark versus the light, that Noah spoke about.
Adam hatte recht. Du hast den Glauben verloren.
Who is this Adam? Adam is starting to sound very much like
warum
Noah.
dich aufgenommen hat. Und warum dich Noah genannt hat.
Ah. Is this younger Noah? I would throw one of my theories out the window. Noah and Adam. It's interesting they always choose to use titles, names, biblical names. Yeah, he's definitely been here a while. Yeah, the same date Noah was, the last day of the cycle. How long has he been here though? Can't be years. I don't remember the time, the exact month that he actually left. But he's probably been here for a few months. Stays until the apocalypse.
Ein halbes Jahr nach dem mysteriösen Verschwinden von 4 Jugendlichen, einem Senioren und einem ortsansässigen Polizisten, eine Sonderkommission der Bundespolizei soll nun die Ermittlungen unterstützen.
Almost half a year. We're back in 2019.
Der Sonderkommission ist es, die Fälle komplett neu aufzurollen. Alle Indizien und Hinweise zu
They call in the big guns.
die Geheimnisse, die im Verborgenen liegen, an die Oberfläche gebracht haben.
Menschen seit Monaten vermisst. Und das schicken sie uns? Eine Person? Und die Frau, die nichts gefunden hat?
You're pretty suspect in the whole disappearance, Mr. Obendorf. I mean, he didn't discuss. I don't think Ulrich discussed anything with her, right? He came to the cave several times, but I don't think we didn't see or hear him actually tell her that. Martha Nielsen died June 27, 2020, so she dies a year, or this year. Wow.
Ich hatte die ganzen letzten Tage versucht zu erreichen.
Ist einfach viel los.
Oh, now that Jonas is missing, I guess she's had a change of heart. And he still seems to be jealous of someone who's not even around anymore.
Was mit mir los ist? Verdammte Scheiße, meine Mutter stirbt. Das ist mit mir los. Und es gibt einfach Sachen, die kann ich dir nicht erzählen,
Warum
okay?
denn nicht?
Ich kann einfach nicht.
So is Bartosz Noah's new recruit in the way that Adam recruited Noah? But I mean, I can't imagine he told him about the apocalypse and he's just sitting there doing nothing about it and just being obedient.
In 6 Tagen wird unser Meiler endgültig vom Netz gehen. Das ist für uns alle ein einschneidendes Erlebnis.
Plan closes on the day of the apocalypse.
Sie hätte das AKW Winden, so wie wir es kennen, niemals existieren können. Lassen Sie es uns die letzten 6 Tage im Geiste der Gemeinschaft mit Leben erfüllen.
What did he do? What did Alexander do? Okay. Still has a gun. Realizes Ulrich is never coming back. Oh.
Wer sind Sie?
Older Jonas.
Was wollen Sie hier?
Why is he visiting her?
Jetzt haben Sie den Schlüssel.
Is this Jonas, older Jonas, that opened the port, that created the black hole last season, or is this Jonas later on that we just saw in 2052?
Bin gleich am ersten Tag damit in den Graben gefahren. Hab mir den Arm aufgeschlitzt.
And I don't trust her with anything. I would not want him telling her.
Ich bin vor über einem halben Jahr aus deinem Leben verschwunden. Und du hast mich vor mehr als 33 Jahren gefunden. Ich habe gleich gewusst, dass du es bist. Es hat geregnet, weißt du noch? Opa und Doja wollten mich mitnehmen im Auto.
She remembers him now, back in 1986. I mentioned a few times that it was odd that, you know, these characters don't recall crossing paths with people that they know today. But she remembers immediately when he describes it to her.
Ich bin stolz auf dich sein. Ich habe das gleiche gefühlt. Es geht vorbei.
So Noah is just a pawn as well to Adam. He just calls his disciples Noah.
Was gut und was böse ist.
Indem wir auf unsere innere Stimme hören. Indem wir niemand anders folgen als uns selbst.
But you're following Adam.
Cachez ça! Derrière le mur! Là, derrière le mur, on l'a vu! On l'a suivi! Je signale! Engagez Dieu! Non! Tu me...
Who are all these new faces?
Warst du?
Not in the dead zone. Okay? I wasn't in the dead zone.
Prophezeiung mit Eintreten. Die Passage wird sich öffnen und dann werden wir ins Paradies geführt.
Wer keinen Glauben hat, ist schon tot. Alle sind schon tot. Meine Familie, meine Freunde. Alle sterben in 6 Tagen. In meiner Zeit, verstehst du? Das wollten die Männer hinter der Mauer.
Go out, go. You better not go beyond there. Ellie? That transition. Is that well, the apocalypse happened, but everyone wouldn't have died, so is that older Ellie? Interesting. They're related to Dr. Tannhaus.
Sie sind hier geboren?
Mein Großvater ist hier geboren. Ich bin bei ihm aufgewachsen.
Ah, interesting. And I'm still curious to know how that guy lost his eye. It's been bothering me since season 1. It was just there, and we never saw how it happened. I still think he plays, aside from, you know, him being working with Alexander, I still think he's involved more in the story.
Enttäuschungen sind das Ergebnis falscher Erwartungen. Hab Hoffnung, hat meine Mutter immer gesagt. Und keine Erwartungen. Dann geschieht dir vielleicht ein Wunder. Keine Enttäuschung.
Where do I know this actor
Kollegen
from?
erwartet und mich bekommen. Zufall? Ich glaube nicht an Zufälle. Ich glaube, dass die Dinge zusammenfinden, so wie sie zusammengehören.
And I wonder if Peter told her the truth about, about finding
Dass
Mads
die
and
Menschen nicht
Claudia and
zerbrechen
all of that, and
an
this
der
is why she's hiding it.
Sinnlosigkeit ihrer eigenen Existenz. Ein endloser Kreislauf aus Leben und Sterben. Die Apokalypse, sie muss geschehen.
I guess this is Adam.
Hast du Zweifel? Es bleibt nicht mehr viel Zeit. Die fehlenden Seiten aus dem Buch. Du musst sie finden.
I thought he gave that book to Bartosz.
Noch 6 Tage.
Who is this Adam? Oh, the prostitutes. What could she be paying him for, considering that he's essentially a part of ruining her family, sleeping with Peter and all that? Interesting.
Ich hab Pause.
Don't you knock? Don't think that's what he's here for. You should really lock your door, man. Though I mean, any crazy can just walk up on in there. Why is he telling her all of this?
Wo ist mein Jonas?
Er ist in der Zukunft.
In der Zukunft. Bist du hier?
Um dem Ganzen ein Ende zu setzen. Ein für alle Mal.
How? I mean, you're just as stranded as Jonas is, I imagine. No longer has the device, I don't think.
Welcher Mann? Noah.
And that's Tron's mom in the same picture, right? Yeah, that's Tron's mom in the same photo.
Wieder bei Mama an. Okay?
Oh, they're siblings. Oh, that is where they had the chemicals stored. Initially, when Jonas came to sneak in to get a sample.
Hat Elisabeth gefunden. Im Laden. Lag in dem Buch. Sie hat gesagt, das ist der Mann, der ihr die Uhr gegeben hat.
And he did say the watch used to belong to Charlotte, so will she recognize him?
Mundus Creatus.
You're burying it in cement? What is beyond the wall? Yep. Sic mundus creatus est. The nuclear plant. Stare into the abyss. The abyss stares back at you. Guess that's where the apocalypse happened. Sic mundus creatus est. Another fantastic episode. The huge revelation there. Ellie being the young lady in the future, actually. Yeah, I don't think. Perhaps I don't think Jonas recognized her or would. He didn't have a whole lot of interaction with the Dopplers in season 1. We did see him meet Peter in the very first episode. And I think he met Franziska the night of the cave when when Mikkel disappeared, but he may not have met Ellie or remember her for the most part. She certainly seems to know who he is, though, judging by her reaction, and that would make sense considering where Charlotte is in her investigation along with Peter now, because she seems to have been told everything. They told her everything that has happened, and I guess they're trying to piece together the puzzle on their own. I'm assuming with Claudia's help, although we didn't see her in this episode, but quite possibly Ellie has all of that knowledge, and she's still, even with their passing in the future, which again they still haven't confirmed, but I'm assuming it's 2052. I'm assuming she knows all of that information, and she knows who Jonas is, and what he's trying to accomplish, which he did fail to do, as Noah predicted. I was confused for a moment when the stranger, let me just call him the stranger to distinguish him from younger Jonas. When the stranger showed up, I was wondering whether that was our stranger from season 1, at the end of season 1, or this was Jonas' stranger a bit further down the timeline. But he attempted to close the black hole. It did not work as Noah predicted, and he's still there in 2019. But is he stuck there though? I think the device he used, I don't know if it's still operable or it's still operational at that point. So he may just be stuck in 2019, and when he's chosen to tell Hannah the truth, I do not trust Hannah at all. It's a possibility they could redeem her somehow, now that she may have a purpose. But I don't know. I don't trust her with the information or what she might actually do with it. Especially Jonas, the stranger Jonas is trusting her because he doesn't know all the things that she has done or is capable of. But we'll see. She's not impressed me as a parent so far, to the point where I think she's going to do anything that isn't selfish, with the knowledge that she's been given. But let's hope that something like this, something on this scale, is enough to make her character do something notable, something selfless for once. We'll see about that. We met Adam, who, and as I said in my reaction, they're drawing on a lot of biblical references. Adam and Noah. No idea who Adam is, but the photo, if I'm not mistaken, several individuals appear to be in the photo. Agnes, Tron's mother, is in the photo as well, and Dr. Tannhaus. So I don't know how all these characters, I'm assuming from the photo, perhaps either it's taken in 1953 or it's taken actually in the future. Each timeline looks equally drab and just so difficult to distinguish between the two. But judging from their dress, I would assume it's in 1953, but who knows? Now we met a young man at the very beginning who, they titled Noah, but then he met with Noah later on. So I'm not sure if it's that my theory has been disproved and Bartosz isn't Noah, or it's a case where Adam calls all his disciples Noah. And the apocalypse apparently happens in 6 days, June 27, 2020. And I guess Jonas in the future now is trying to prevent that because he now knows when the future ends. But he needs to save everyone. The problem with that though is that why wasn't that the stranger's objective when he came to 2019? Or perhaps it was. When he came to 2019, his objective, and 1983, his objective seems to be to find Mikko, which I suppose if he prevented that from happening, that may have, I may have prevented the whole catastrophe from happening in the first place. But it just feels as though he could have done that by sabotaging the plant or something like that. But maybe it's more complicated than that, and he has already tried those things, and this is the key that he needs to prevent all of that from happening, and that happens to be Mikko. But this Jonas obviously is still much younger. He still has a lot of things to go through, to experience, to learn, a lot of mistakes to make. So he may very well just be trying to get home to save everyone, but he doesn't quite know how to do that just yet. And in the same breath though, I think he will have to do things differently from the stranger, because if he follows in the stranger's footsteps, then he will just end up in the same exact location, having not stopped the black hole and in his childhood bed sleeping next to mommy. So he definitely has to do something differently, but he doesn't have any of the knowledge that the stranger now has to tell him that this will not work. Noah knows that it won't work, but Jonas doesn't. So no idea who Adam is. Judging by the name he's given himself, he's the first of something. Who knows what? And H.G. Tannhaus is Charlotte's grandparents or grandfather. I guess we got Peter's lineage, Helg being his dad and Bernd being his grandfather, but we didn't get Charlotte's family tree. So I'll definitely have to update it with that. But that is interesting though, that she's related to Tannhaus. It's a lot of information. I definitely have to rewatch this episode and come up with some new theories, right? Some new theories, but it was another fantastic episode, guys. Looking forward to the next one. Be sure to post down below, let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.